Right now at 5, a man accused of stabbing someone 44 times appears in La Crosse court. And a water taxi is helping people get to and from Wisconsin and Iowa.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Emily is on assignment. A La Crosse man accused of stabbing a man to death is back in court today. 50-year-old Brian Smith is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. According to the criminal complaint, Smith called 911 and admitted to stabbing Timothy Salas when he was blackout drunk. At his preliminary hearing today, 2 officers testified. One of them testified that the autopsy shows Salas was stabbed 44 times. The court commissioner presiding over the hearing found probable cause that a felony was committed, so Smith's case will proceed. Smith is currently in custody on a $500,000 cash bond. The man accused of the Madeline Kingsbury murder will be back in court tomorrow. 30-year-old Adam Fravel will appear in Winona County Court for a 2-day hearing as he fights to move his trial out of the county. Attorneys for Fravel have argued that heavy media coverage surrounding the case will prevent him from getting a fair trial. He faces 2 counts of first-degree homicide for the death of Kingsbury, his ex-girlfriend. The 26-year-old went missing last March after dropping the kids she shared with Fravel off at daycare. Her body was found a little over 2 months later near the town of Mabel, south of Winona. A non-traditional taxi service is bringing some relief to those traveling between northeast Iowa and southwest Wisconsin. Back in February, the Iowa Department of Public Safety temporarily closed the Blackhawk Bridge between the DeSoto area and Lansing, Iowa to stabilize 2 piers. Since then, travel has become difficult for those who live in the area. Today, a new service bridging the gap between the 2 states, as Jeremy Wall explains.
Residents in DeSoto tell me getting to and from Iowa has been tough. They say the closure of the Blackhawk Bridge has increased travel times. They're hoping the water taxi will bring relief. It's an old-fashioned technology that's bringing relief to residents facing a modern problem. A water taxi making multiple trips per day across the Mississippi. Thomas Thor is among the first to give it a try.
Hopefully we can get across and get our groceries and stuff, whatever we need, and get back over again.
Rides are free and will continue through the end of April. Money for the service comes from the Federal Highway Administration's Emergency Repair Program. The water taxi will run 7 days a week from 7 to 11 a.m., 11 to 1 p.m., and 3 to 6 p.m. The captain tells me he plans to take people back and forth until the Blackhawk Bridge reopens. On the river, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
And to access the water taxi, you'll need to take a shuttle to the Lansing Marina or Big Slough Landing. The shuttle will go to and from Lansing City Hall and Key High School. It will also run to and from the DeSoto Community Center. The city of La Crosse is joining the list of municipalities activating burn bans. According to a release by the La Crosse Fire Department, the city of La Crosse and the town of Madary are now under burn bans. The Wisconsin DNR says fire danger for La Crosse County is very high. The city's burn ban includes the use of charcoal grills or recreational fire pits. Other municipalities currently under burn bans include the towns of Shelby, Greenfield, Hamilton, and Barry, the village of West Salem, and the city and town of Onalaska. Vernon County is also under a burn ban. We had some chillier temperatures, but those dry conditions are continuing for the area. Let's get the latest from Greg.
Yeah, another chilly day, actually below average once again, but not too bad. Last year we were 29 on this day, so a little bit above that what we heard. But overall, it's still dry out there. That's the big story. Temperatures more like what we should have in the early March or end of February time frame, which we're in the mid-30s. Relative humidity, once again, very low in the afternoon, and with the dead fuel still out there and the green not really grassed up, that's why we continue to see a fire weather danger along with breezy conditions, but those relative humidities are quite low once again this afternoon, and that'll be the story at least for a couple more days. But for this evening, the wind will start turning around from the southwest. We'll start increasing some clouds, mainly high clouds, still dry. Temperatures getting down to about 33. Same story up to Eau Claire. They'll see the clouds a little bit earlier, become a little bit overcast for a brief period later tonight. 32 at 10 p.m. with that southwest wind beginning to pick up and once again turn a little bit, because we do have a system approaching that's going to be a cold front or a type of frontal boundary that'll come through tomorrow morning, early afternoon. That will then decrease the temperatures in the afternoon. But overnight, we're just seeing cloud cover will pick up. then decrease, and then once again increase towards the morning hour. As you'll see throughout this, we'll wake up with temperatures once again in the 20s. That wind starting to pick up out of the southwest, and then as we go through tomorrow morning, the winds are going to turn around to the southwest and pick up from the northwest, actually. But we do have spring on the way. Unfortunately, it comes like Tuesday night. It's not going to feel much like spring this week, especially as we go towards the later half of the week, and that involves snow. And I'll break that down a little bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Well, authorities in Tennessee have released new video in connection to the case of a missing college student.
How you doing, sir? I'm good. How are you? Good.
On Monday, Metro Nashville Police released that video showing a brief exchange between Riley Strain and an officer the night of March 8th. Video from earlier shows the 22-year-old University of Missouri student stumbling and falling after friends say he was kicked out of a bar. The next morning, they called police when they realized he was missing.
Thank you for getting the word out and keeping the word out, and please don't stop sharing. Don't stop sharing till we bring Riley home.
Authorities did find Strain's debit card on the embankment of the Cumberland River not far from where he was last seen. Teams are continuing to search the river for any sign of the missing student. 4 days. That's how long until 2 hospitals in the Chippewa Valley close. Sacred Heart Hospital and St. Joe's Hospital are set to close Friday. Governor Evers visiting Eau Claire today to urge the Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee to release $15 million in crisis funds to the area. Last month, the state legislature approved the funds, but specified the money needed to go toward helping emergency departments in the Chippewa Valley. Evers used his line item veto power to add flexibility into the bill, making it so other health services like OBGYN care or inpatient psychiatry services could also access those funds. The funds now sit in the Joint Finance Committee as Republicans are holding them back to be used for just ER services. At today's press conference, Evers called on the committee to release those funds.
Enough is enough, folks. It's time to act. There's not one good reason resources designed to respond to this crisis should be sitting in Madison today. Representative
Evers also called on the state to expand Medicaid coverage, saying accepting the funds would help keep the state's hospitals open. The Supreme Court heard arguments today in a case that tests how far the federal government can go in pressuring social media companies to remove content it believes spreads misinformation. Skylar Henry reports from our nation's capital.
Washington, D.C., make some noise for free speech!
Groups who say their voices have been silenced by the government rallied outside the Supreme Court Monday as the justices heard arguments about whether the Biden administration went too far, combating controversial posts on social media.
The First Amendment, had it been heeded during the pandemic, would have saved lives. And I hope the court does the right thing by restoring the First Amendment to this country.
The case, Murphy versus Missouri, arose out of efforts during the early months of the Biden administration to push social media platforms to take down posts that officials said spread falsehoods about the pandemic and the 2020 presidential election, with lower courts ruling that federal employees could not coerce or significantly encourage a platform's content moderation decisions.
Government can't just run rampant pressuring platforms to censor private speech.
Some justices appeared skeptical of the challenge to the Biden administration's actions.
What do you do with the fact that the platforms say no all the time to the government?
Your Honor, it doesn't matter.
Attorneys for the Biden administration argued that the federal officials' actions amounted to persuasion, not coercion.
Government speech crosses the line into coercion only if, viewed objectively, it conveys a threat of adverse government action. And because no threats happened here, the court should reverse.
A decision on the case is expected in June. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Now, the court also heard arguments today in a free speech dispute from the National Rifle Association. Former President Trump's tough talk on the campaign trail lands him in hot water among some in his own party, why a former close colleague says he won't endorse Trump in November.
Is your gravel or dirt driveway migrating into your yard? Then it's time to call North Central Paving. Specializing in paving, seal coating, repairs, crack filling, and new installations, North Central Paving can handle all your asphalt needs. Call 608-781-4423 today to get your free estimate.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get 2.9% APR for 72 months on select Sierra 1500 models.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Asher Lasting Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's trusted gutter and gutter helmet experts. Our highly trained certified technicians can install gutter helmet onto new or existing gutters. Gutter helmet blends in beautifully with your home, can withstand the heaviest of rainfalls, and is backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Save up to 20% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with seamless gutters and gutter helmet. Brought to you by Asher Lasting Exteriors.
It's spring bonus season. Time to take control of your spring in a new Ford SUV. Get started with exclusive spring bonus offers at your local Northland Ford dealers. Then own the season behind the wheel of your new Ford. Whether you're looking for new adventures or dominating the day-to-day, there's a Ford SUV waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Get in the driver's seat today. Now, get a Ford Edge or Explorer with 1.9% financing for 66 months, plus $3,000 flex by cash, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Is your gravel or dirt driveway migrating into your yard? Then it's time to call North Central Paving. Specializing in paving, seal coating, repairs, crack filling, and new installations, North Central Paving can handle all your asphalt needs. Call 608-781-4423 today to get your free estimate.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In-person absentee voting or early voting begins tomorrow in Wisconsin. Early voting for the city of La Crosse is available at 5 locations through March 29th. Those locations are City Hall, the Southside Neighborhood Center, the Northside Policing Center, the Moob Cultural and Community Agency, and the Cleary Alumni and Friends Center on the UWL campus. Each location is open on different days and have different hours, so make sure to bring a photo ID with you wherever you're headed. We'll have the hours and addresses of the different early voting locations on our website and social media platforms. Former President Donald Trump is clarifying comments he made in Ohio Saturday that warned of a bloodbath for the country. The former president posted on his social media Monday that he was just referring to auto industry imports, but he's also drawing criticism for his characterization of migrants as, quote, animals. Former Vice President Mike Pence has told CBS Face the Nation why he won't back his former boss for president.
Because I see him departing from the mainstream conservative agenda that has defined the Republican Party over the last 40 years.
In the Democratic race, President Biden is pushing his own re-election agenda with stops out west this week in Arizona and Nevada. He holds a significant cash advantage over Trump, and his campaign is planning a $30 million ad blitz in battleground states this month. A handful of states are holding primaries Tuesday, including Florida, where Trump will cast his ballot. A heads up to those priming for spring and summer travel season. The CDC encouraging vaccinations with a certain spike in sickness.
Yeah, and although spring starts tomorrow evening, we're going to have a bit of winter coming back, and that includes snow for your forecast later this week, along with more wet conditions to follow for next weekend. I'll time it all out and break it out how much we might see. That all coming up on your First One Weather Update after the break.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
I would like to tell you about the man I love, Eric, who is running for the U.S. Senate. A fourth-generation Wisconsinite, he graduated from East High and then became a proud Badger. When we met, I knew right away he was a take-action guy, a natural leader. He started his first business in his 20s and then built and turned around over a dozen companies, creating thousands of good-paying jobs. As busy as he was, our family always came first. Eric has a huge heart. In his 30s, he started the Hovde Foundation, which focuses on homelessness and rescues children from abuse, sex trafficking, and slavery. He loves our country and Wisconsin. He believes in the American dream, and he wants it to be possible for everyone. Above all, Eric is a man of integrity. He is principled, honest, and straightforward. These are the qualities I want in a U.S. Senator to fight for Wisconsin. How about you?
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Are you ready to build your future? Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor is hiring and wants you to apply. Starting wage for laborers up to $18 per hour with a $2,500 hiring bonus. No experience but a great attitude? Then apply today. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
Things have sure changed since Osseo Automotive had its roots 100 years ago. But one thing remains the same: our commitment to service and great deals at Osseo Ford and Nels Gunderson Chevrolet. We have a huge selection of new Ford F-150s in stock, like this new demo F-150 for just $48,400. Or financing as low as 1.9% for 72 months. Osseo Automotive is Osseo Ford and Nels Gunderson Chevrolet in Osseo, Rudy's in Whitehall, and Fountain City Ford.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The CDC is warning about a global uptick in measles. This health alert comes as the spring and summer travel season kicks off. The CDC is calling on doctors to encourage vaccinations, especially for children traveling internationally. The U.S. eliminated measles as an endemic, but some imported cases are seen annually. So far this year, there have been 58 cases in 17 jurisdictions. The states where measles have been reported include Illinois, Arizona, Florida, and California. Last couple of days, it has been a chilly one in the region, but a return to mild temperatures could be in store. Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart.
Yeah, we got one more day probably of mild conditions, and with that wind tomorrow may not feel quite as mild as you'd like to, even though it gets up maybe in the low 50s with the winds. Then we get cold and chilly behind a front on Wednesday, so we'll kind of feel like we're back to Monday on Wednesday with the temperatures back in the 30s. And then that system comes with snow probably late Thursday or Thursday night into early Friday, and accumulation is likely. Just how much will be on roads versus grassy areas, that's going to be yet to be determined. But overnight, we're going to see clouds, at least initially. We'll clear out a little bit, then we'll have more clouds come, all associated with the system. So you wake up tomorrow morning, be more cloud cover overhead with temperatures around the 30s. There might even be a few flakes north of the area up towards Ladysmith, Eau Claire, and these areas as this front comes through. Wouldn't amount to anything if we get anything with it, just a few flakes, kind of like we saw this morning. We'll see then as we go through. There's your clearing skies. 6 a.m. temps were in the 30s. Cloud cover throughout the day as we go through Tuesday. We'll still see some sun, and even though the front has kind of passed through and the winds are back from the northwest, we'll still be able to get up into the 40s by noon and then low 50s in the afternoon as the cold air really hasn't quite arrived yet. It's kind of back behind the system a little bit up to the north. So even tomorrow afternoon, evening, plenty still of sun, temperatures in the 40s. Tomorrow evening, that northwest wind continues, and that'll be really the story probably of tomorrow. We'll see temperatures fall back into the 30s, and it will be a cold night going into Wednesday for another cold Wednesday as we look at temperatures back in the 30s. But for the winds, that'll be the story. Tonight they'll switch around the southwest, start picking up towards morning, and then the 10 to 15 mile per hour range. By noon, we'll start seeing probably in that 15 to 20, but now they'll be out of the northwest. And then in the afternoon, still continuing 15 to 20, maybe even 25 with some higher gusts near 30 as we go throughout. And those winds will die off a little bit towards tomorrow evening, but still remain Tuesday night into Wednesday. And the problem going into Wednesday is, once again, we've kind of dealt with it before, is the wind chill. Actually, you'll feel that wind chill come back for Wednesday. We'll see temperatures overall, wind chills in the valleys in the single digits, potentially near zero for Wednesday morning. They will improve throughout as we go throughout Wednesday, but still, it's going to be a cold period with temperatures in the mid-30s. Wind chills in the single digits, at least in the morning, coming up to the teens, and that wind will start to kind of die off towards Wednesday evening. Now, once we get past Wednesday, all eyes then turn to that system that's coming diving southeast. You can see it spreading across the plains, and then eventually it makes its way into our area probably late Thursday or Thursday night. I think the evening commute will probably be fine. If we do get some precipitation, won't be that much beforehand, but it's at overnight hours that we're going to see the bulk of the snow come through the area. It looks like the rain snow line should stay just to our south, but we'll see if that does change a little bit. As it goes through, then we'll see it kind of clear out as we get towards Friday. Now, snow amounts right now really depend on where you're at. There's still a small chance for 3 inches. I would say it's like 1 to 3 in generally most of the area, but there could be a small sliver area depending on how this plays out that we do see maybe 3 to 4. And once again, this is more on grassy areas. It's yet to be determined how much actually gets on the road surfaces. And next system we're talking about next weekend, we got more snow potentially coming. Right now, we'll get more on that as we get closer to the event, but it could be an active weekend too. But for tonight, looks like on and off cloud cover. Temperatures get back down to the 30s. The winds will start picking up towards the morning, and as we go through tomorrow, the temperatures will get up to the low 50s, but that wind will be out of the northwest, quite breezy, so it won't make it feel as warm. And then we definitely drop the temperatures off for Wednesday with some wind chills in the single digits to teens, and then we'll see the snow come back into play as we go into Thursday night into Friday. And right now, I would say if there's a commute to actually look at, is that Friday morning commute. We'll take a look at the roads. That could be an issue. Otherwise, we'll get wet towards next weekend. More to come on that too.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Well, it's the cultural rewind you probably weren't planning on. After the break, why VHS tapes are making a comeback.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Save some green with PM Sleep Center's March mattress sale. Over 15 queen mattresses, $5.99 or less. Queen pillow top mattresses start at $3.99. Twin mattresses start at $159. Stop in soon at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
For the second year in a row, Chevy Equinox has been ranked by J.D. Power #1 in new vehicle quality for compact SUVs. In other words, it's really good, right from the start. Chevy Equinox.
Do that again.
Connected by OnStar. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $1,000 cash allowance.
Visit HometownChevy.com.
College is more than the knowledge you gain. It's a place to cultivate your curiosity. It's where you explore the potential and what's next. It's where you find the tenacity to rise, rather than settle for good enough. It's a series of moments that add up to form your future self. It's where what you want is within reach, on your terms. It's where you find a career, not just a job. Western Technical College. Discover what you're made of.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah.
Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, get 3.99% APR for 60 months, plus $1,000 cash back on Tundra Hybrid when you finance through Toyota Financial Services.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Save some green with PM Sleep Center's March mattress sale. Over 15 queen mattresses, $5.99 or less. Queen pillow top mattresses start at $3.99. Twin mattresses start at $159. Stop in soon at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com. The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
There was a time when watching a movie at home required you to drive to a store and rent a VHS tape. But after the introduction of DVD delivery and streaming video, the number of U.S. video rental stores went from 15,000 in the mid-'80s to about 2,000 in 2017. But Dina Demetrius says a growing number of people are rewinding to the VHS days.
It's tangible, it's in your hands.
Welcome back to the future. It's the return of the VHS tape.
In the beginning, I was going to thrift stores, I was going to estate sales, I was going, scouring Craigslist and OfferUp.
This is like the kind of funny horror section.
Cinematographer Matthew Renoir eventually collected enough tapes to open Be Kind Video in 2022.
If it's like horror tapes or 80s and 90s kind of action sci-fi stuff, that's the stuff that's like the most popular.
Renoir is riding the wave of old media popularity. Like the resurgence of vinyl records, VHS tapes are more than a bit of nostalgia for customers like Aaron Thorell.
People love that sound of the hiss, right? It just gives this
different vibe, this different feel.
VHS has been winning followers on social media, with many fans referring to themselves as tape heads. For Rich Summer, it's a new way to share memories with his 13-year-old son Patrick, who loves horror movies and old cartoons on tape.
Because the cartoons, when you watch them on VHS, like the color really pops, and it's just like a new way to enjoy them.
Of course, today you can get a movie much faster connecting to a streaming service, but fans say a store like this one offers a human connection. Be Kind Video holds regular movie nights where customers can come together. Connor Holtz says the events provide a sense of community.
I believe it matters as a subculture. It matters as people care about it and want to preserve it, and they want to kind of enjoy that kind of camaraderie. So I believe it'll continue.
Seems VHS isn't dead yet, and no one is putting these babies in the corner anymore. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Burbank, California.
And some VHS tapes are worth a lot more than $5. A mint condition copy of Back to the Future sold at auction in 2022 for $75,000. And a 1985 tape of The Goonies sold for $50 grand. Go figure. Well, Greg's going to have one more check of your forecast right after these messages.
Comfort, style, and savings. Come in now for the FlexSteel Spring Gallery Custom Order and Floor Sample Sale. Get 50% off select floor models and 40% off all custom orders. International Furniture, I-90, Exit 2, La Crosse.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Enjoy one of our tasty bagel sandwiches paired with a caramel frappe.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If replacement windows, a new patio door, or a new entry door is on your 2024 home improvement list, then you owe it to yourself to connect during the 2024 Early Bird Home Show only at the Board Store. Visit our showroom and see all of the beautiful window styles. See the beautiful new woodwork you can enjoy on your new windows. Arrange for a prompt free estimate during the 2024 Early Bird Home Show at the Board Store. Call or visit today.
The Honda you want is here. Get a great offer on the stylish HR-V or the Civic, which car and driver called fun to drive. There's never been a better time to drive in the moment with Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
This adorable shelter pet wants to meet you and your family today. The News 8 Now Pet of the Week is brought to you by Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics.
Comfort, style, and savings. Come in now for the FlexSteel Spring Gallery Custom Order and Floor Sample Sale. Get 50% off select floor models and 40% off all custom orders. International Furniture, I-90, Exit 2, La Crosse.
Coming up tonight on the CBS Evening News, for our Heart of America, the inspiring young woman who completed the New York City Half Marathon just 2 months after having brain surgery. Her remarkable fight against a rare disease. That and more headlines tonight on the CBS Evening News.
All right, tonight, variable cloudiness, really on and off clouds. We'll probably see more clouds towards the mornings. The winds will turn around the southwest and pick up, especially towards morning. So all in all, not a bad night to wake overall. We'll see temperatures upper 20s, 30s. Tomorrow, mild and breezy. 51, spring comes at 10:06 at the nighttime, so that's when it comes. Unfortunately, Wednesday you'll feel more like winter, cold, wind chill, and then the snow comes Thursday night into Friday.
Nothing like a late March snowfall.
Oh, yeah.
Quintessential Wisconsin. Thanks for joining us at 5, everybody.